In today's world, humanity has never enjoyed so many conveniences. We can sit in a small room and instantly connect with the outside world. With just one touch on a screen, we can speak with someone on the other side of the planet. Smart machines, advanced technology, and modern comfort seem to offer us an easier, more comfortable life than ever before. And yet, within this abundance, the human heart carries more and more restlessness. We constantly worry about the future, regret the past, and rarely live fully in the present moment. We compare ourselves with others, chase after standards imposed by society, and exhaust ourselves in the invisible race called success or winning. We may own spacious houses, luxury cars, and all the latest conveniences, but when night falls, many still feel an immense emptiness inside. This leads us to a very important question, a question every human being, in any era, must ask themselves. Does true peace come from the outside, or can it only be found within? If peace depended solely on external things, then only the wealthy, the powerful, or the successful could ever live happily. But reality shows otherwise. Even those who are rich and famous can fall into depression, loneliness, and despair. On the other hand, there are people who live with very little, yet radiate a quiet sense of contentment, because within them lies a deep inner life, rooted in simplicity and calm. And this is where the teachings of the Buddha become so precious. His wisdom is not just a religion, not just an object of worship, but a practical path for living. The Buddha never asked us to believe blindly, instead, he encouraged each of us to experience and practice for ourselves, to see the truth directly in our daily lives. He taught that the roots of suffering are not found outside, but within our own minds, in our clinging, our endless desires, our fears, and our ignorance. And the path to freedom is not somewhere far away, but right here, in every breath, every step, every mindful thought in the present moment. When we return to ourselves, let go of comparisons and competition, and nurture mindfulness and compassion, peace is no longer something distant, it becomes a living experience in each moment. This is the very inspiration behind the creation of Buddha's wisdom journey, a sincere wish to share the jewels of Buddhist wisdom with everyone, like a trusted companion on the path to inner peace and freedom. We believe that Buddhist wisdom for a peaceful life is not just a title, but a gentle reminder, peace is not a gift handed to us from the outside, it is the fruit of mindfulness, understanding, and love cultivated within. On this journey, each video, each teaching, each story we share is like a small lantern, lighting the path ahead. You don't need to change your entire external life overnight. All it takes is one mindful step at a time, listening inward, to realize that peace has never left you. It is always here, in your breath, in your gaze, in every mindful moment. By practicing mindfulness, reflecting on impermanence, learning to release attachments, and opening your heart with compassion, for yourself and for others, you will gradually discover a simple but profound truth: true happiness doesn't come from having more, but from knowing enough, from living with ease in what already is. The Buddha once said, "When the mind is pure, the world is pure. When your heart is at peace, every circumstance can become fertile ground for joy and serenity." And that is exactly the message of Buddha's wisdom journey. The Buddha's path is not just for those who retreat to mountaintops, but for all of us, modern people, living in the chaos of daily life, yet still yearning to rediscover stillness and freedom. In the upcoming lessons, we'll explore fundamental Buddhist teachings such as the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Path, impermanence, non-self, and compassion, not as distant doctrines, but as living practices. We'll look at how they can help us handle the pressures of work, heal the wounds of the heart, and open a way of living that is light, simple, and deeply meaningful. Let Buddhist wisdom for a peaceful life be the doorway to a new journey for you, a journey of returning home. To discover that peace has always been within your very own heart. Point 1. Letting go of attachments. If we take the time to truly listen to ourselves, we'll see that most of our inner restlessness comes from attachment. We cling to our sense of self and crave recognition. We cling to what we own and fear losing it. We cling to praise and suffer when we face criticism. This cycle never ends. The tighter we hold on, the more exhausted we become. The Buddha taught that the roots of suffering are greed, anger, and ignorance, and all of them arise from clinging. When we identify ourselves with the ego, we are easily wounded by life's changes. But life is impermanent, nothing lasts forever. Wealth can be lost, relationships can change, the body will eventually wither. To cling to what is fragile is to guarantee suffering. Letting go does not mean abandoning everything, becoming indifferent, or living without care. Letting go, as the Buddha explained, means living with inner freedom. We can still work, love, and strive, but without being bound by the endless struggle of gain and loss, success and failure. When the heart is no longer controlled by external conditions, peace arises naturally. Look at a flower, it blooms brightly in the morning, but by evening its petals begin to fall. If we cling to its morning beauty, we'll suffer when it fades. But if we accept impermanence, we can smile and appreciate its beauty in every moment. That is the essence of letting go, not rejecting life, but living in harmony with its ever-changing flow. 2. Cultivating compassion. The Buddha once said, "Hatred is never overcome by hatred. Only by love is hatred overcome." This is the power of compassion, the second pillar of peace. In daily life, it is easy to get angry when insulted, to feel resentment when hurt. But think about it, when anger arises, who suffers first? Not the other person, it's us. Our minds burn, our bodies tense. Our sleep becomes restless. Hatred not only destroys relationships, it also eats away at our inner peace. Cultivating compassion doesn't mean allowing others to harm us freely. Compassion is not weakness or submission. Compassion is an inner strength, the strength to forgive, to understand, and to love without demanding anything in return. When our hearts open to all beings, our own wounds begin to heal. Imagine the heart as a calm lake. With compassion, anger drops into it like a small pebble, it cannot stir the waters. Compassion allows us to look at others with understanding. Those who hurt us are often victims of their own suffering. Seeing this truth, we can let go of hatred and replace it with a deeper love, a love that brings lasting peace to both sides. Compassion is not only for others, it must also include ourselves. Many of us are harsh toward our own mistakes, punishing ourselves for failures. But if we cannot love ourselves, how can we truly love others? Compassion begins with embracing ourselves gently, and from there, it radiates outward to the world. 3. Mindfulness in the present moment. If there is one key to unlock the door to peace, it is mindfulness. The Buddha taught that peace is not in the past, which is gone, nor in the future, which has not yet come, it is here, in the present moment. Yet most of us live like wanderers, trapped in the past or chasing after the future, forgetting that life exists only now. The past may be heavy with regrets and painful memories. The future may bring endless worry and imagined fears. Mindfulness brings us back, helping us stop, and recognize that in this very moment, with just one deep breath, one slow step, peace is already available. Practicing mindfulness is not something far away. It begins with simple things, eating mindfully, breathing mindfully, walking mindfully. When we drink tea and truly drink it, not distracted, not rushing, then in that moment, we are touching life. When we breathe and know that we are breathing, each breath becomes a bridge back to the present. Mindfulness is also the light that illuminates the mind. When anxiety arises, we notice, this is anxiety. When anger arises, we notice, this is anger. No need to run away, no need to suppress, just recognize with awareness. The energy of mindfulness gently embraces and transforms what is difficult within us. Mindfulness is the foundation for both letting go and compassion. Only when we are present can we see impermanence clearly enough to let go. Only when we are present can we open our hearts to love. In this way, mindfulness becomes the root nourishing the tree of a peaceful life. The connection of the three pillars. These three pillars, letting go of attachments, cultivating compassion, and living with mindfulness, are not separate paths. They nurture one another. Letting go brings lightness, compassion brings warmth, and mindfulness brings presence. When all three come together, peace is no longer distant, it becomes a living reality in each moment of our lives. And this is exactly what the Buddha wished to share with us, a path that is simple, close, and practical, yet powerful enough to free the heart from every chain, when we look deeply into the roots of anxiety and suffering in modern life. We see that most of it arises from attachment. We cling to self-image, to reputation, to possessions, to relationships, and even to our own thoughts and opinions we believe are right. People often seek happiness in acquiring more, a bigger house, a nicer car, a higher social position. Yet once attained, the joy quickly fades, and the craving for more begins again. This cycle has no end, because the root is a grasping mind that never knows contentment. The Buddha once compared attachment to holding a burning coal. The tighter we grip it, the more we get burned. Letting go does not mean denying life or throwing everything away. It means learning to use what we have skillfully, with a heart free from clinging. We can still live, work, create, and love, but with inner freedom, without allowing external conditions to fully control our happiness. When we let go, we realize that peace does not come from what we possess, but from the way we relate to life itself. Letting go is also about releasing the narrow self, the constant urge to prove, compare, and compete. This self is like an invisible wall that separates us from the freshness of life. When it is threatened, we get angry; when praised, we rejoice; when criticized, we suffer. The truth is, no one can maintain a flawless image in the eyes of others. Only when we have the courage to drop the mask can we live authentically, and in living authentically, we discover true freedom. Cultivating compassion. If letting go helps us feel lighter in the face of attachment, then compassion is the wing that lifts the heart above hatred and pain. Compassion is not mere sentimentality, it is a healing force. The Buddha said that when we give rise to compassion for someone, we are the first to feel its coolness. A heart filled with love has no space for anger, envy, or resentment. In a competitive world where people often view one another as rivals, the presence of compassion is a priceless gift. It reminds us that behind every conflict is a human being who, like us, longs for happiness and fears suffering. Seeing this, our perspective shifts, and our actions shift as well. A gentle word, a small act of kindness, a gesture of care born from compassion can dissolve deep layers of hostility. Compassion also nurtures connection. When we open our hearts to others, we no longer feel isolated. Loneliness, at its core, comes from closing off the heart. Compassion builds bridges, reminding us that we are part of humanity's great stream, not separate from it. In this way, peace is no longer an abstract idea but a warmth that flows through every cell of our being. Most importantly, compassion must begin with ourselves. To truly love others, we must learn to love and forgive our own imperfections. Many people mistake compassion for sacrificing everything for others, but when the heart itself is wounded, sacrifice only leads to exhaustion. Only when we nurture self-compassion can we offer love to the world in a sustainable and genuine way. Mindfulness in the present moment. Peace is not found in future plans, nor in memories of the past. It can only be found in the present moment. The Buddha taught, the past is gone, the future has not yet come, only the present is a gift. Yet our minds often wander, regretting the past or worrying about the future. This constant wandering disconnects us from the living reality, where peace is always available. To practice mindfulness is to return fully to the present moment with wholehearted awareness. When drinking tea, we actually taste its warmth, aroma, and texture. When walking, we are fully aware of each step, free from distraction. Mindfulness is not limited to sitting meditation, it is the art of living. It allows us to recognize the storms of the mind, worry, anger, fear, without being swept away, but instead standing firmly and calmly. In today's digital age, mindfulness is more necessary than ever. Our attention is constantly pulled by endless notifications, news, and images. Each time our minds are dragged away, we miss the life unfolding right before us. A family meal becomes fragmented when everyone stares at their screens. A beautiful morning is lost because we are busy scrolling through updates instead of watching the sunrise. Mindfulness whispers, pause, return, be here, for happiness can only be touched in the now. When we practice mindfulness, the breath becomes our companion. Each inhalation brings us back to ourselves, each exhalation releases tension. Even just a few mindful breaths during the day can refresh both body and mind. Gradually, presence in the moment stops being an effort and becomes a way of life. And when we live this way, we realize, peace has never left us, it has always been here, patiently waiting for us to return, when we truly understand and practice the three pillars of peace: letting go of attachment, cultivating compassion, and living mindfully in the present moment. We begin to realize that peace is not a distant destination. It is the very path we walk each day. It doesn't come from somewhere outside, nor is it something given by others, it is the fruit of inner transformation. The modern world, with all its conveniences and wonders, still cannot erase the storms in the human heart. Even in bustling cities, we still see pressure, anxiety, and loneliness. This shows that no external invention can replace the inner practice of the mind. The Buddha once said, "The greatest victory is not conquering thousands of enemies, but conquering oneself." That victory is the journey of returning to inner freedom and peace. Letting go of attachment is the beginning of freedom. When we stop chasing after praise and recognition, when we are no longer bound by fame and comparison, it feels as if we've laid down a heavy burden. The heart becomes light, and in that lightness, we rediscover the simple yet profound beauty of life. A flower blooming by the roadside, the song of a bird at dawn, a gentle smile, these are already happiness, if only we are no longer blinded by endless desire. Cultivating compassion is lighting a warm flame in the midst of life. Compassion not only brings joy to ourselves but also radiates outward to those around us. A family that knows how to listen and love, a community that knows how to share, a society that knows how to support one another, all of these begin with seeds of compassion in each heart. The world may be full of division, but just one seed of compassion planted by each person can already transform the field of life. Mindfulness in the present moment is the key that opens the door to peace. The past cannot be changed, the future has not yet arrived, only the present is alive. Every mindful breath, every peaceful step, is a quiet declaration that we are living fully. When we pause to truly live in the here and now, we stop being someone who runs away from life, we become someone who embraces it. And when these three pillars come together, a new way of living is revealed. No longer swept away by competition, fear, or anxiety, we live as one who knows how to return to the self, who knows how to love oneself and others, who knows how to slow down and savor each moment. This is not merely philosophy, it is an art of living, a lifelong journey where each day is a step forward. On this path, there will be times we stumble, forget mindfulness, or are overcome by anger and fear. But it is precisely in these moments that we have the chance to recognize, and begin again. The Buddha taught that every breath is a new beginning. Simply returning to the breath, to awareness, we find ourselves again. This path does not require perfection, only patience and sincerity. True inner peace does not mean escaping the world, it is the ability to live fully in the world while remaining free. A peaceful person is not someone cut off from life, but one who joins in without being swept away, who participates without losing themselves. That is the true beauty of the Dharma in daily living. So if one day your heart feels restless, remember this, the path back to peace is never far. It is right here. In every moment you pause, smile, let go, breathe deeply, look at others with compassion, and touch life as it is. Peace is not an abstract concept, it is a living experience available to anyone who chooses to return to it. Our channel, Buddha's Wisdom Journey, with the theme, Buddhist Wisdom for a Peaceful Life, is an invitation for you to walk this path. Each video and each sharing is only a small lamp, pointing the way for you to discover the light within your own heart. Ultimately, no one can hand you peace, it is you who must awaken to it. The Buddha does not give happiness. He only shows the way. Walking the path is always in our hands. So why not begin today? Let go of one small attachment, offer one small act of compassion, pause for one mindful breath. These little steps, repeated over time, will build the foundation of a life that is free and at ease. And as you walk this journey, you will not only find peace for yourself, but also contribute to a more peaceful world. For peace is never just a private matter, it spreads, like ripples across a pond. Your inner peace is the most precious gift you can give to others. This is the Buddha's path. The path of awakening, compassion, and freedom. It is not far, not difficult, not mysterious, it only asks that you begin, with a mindful breath, a gentle smile, and an open heart, when we look back on our journey, we may realize that for so many years, we have been searching for happiness in our work, searching for recognition from others, searching for fulfillment in material things. And yet, the more we search, the more we feel an emptiness that never seems to be filled. That emptiness does not exist because we lack something, but because we have not truly returned to ourselves. The Buddha's teachings, though more than 2,500 years old, have never grown outdated. Human nature remains the same, we still worry, we still crave, we still fear, we still yearn for love. And it is within these very struggles that the value of mindfulness, compassion, and letting go shines most clearly. When we pause and truly listen to these teachings, not just with the mind but with the heart, we come to understand, peace is not something out there, it is an inheritance already within us. Perhaps you live in a noisy city, burdened by work pressures, or carrying wounds of the heart. But please remember, no matter the external conditions, within you there is always a place of refuge, a place where you can return to breathe, to let go, to heal. This is the gift of the Dharma, the path of coming home to yourself. This path does not require you to abandon your current life, nor does it ask you to become someone else. It simply invites you to slow down, to live more mindfully, to love yourself and others more deeply. Each day, just one mindful moment, one instant of letting go, one compassionate glance, and you are already walking the Buddha's path. Step by step, over time, these small moments weave together into a life of freedom, clarity, and ease. In the endless current of life, it is so easy to lose ourselves. But do not forget. With just one conscious breath, peace can return. With just one loving look, hatred can dissolve. With just one act of letting go, the heart feels lighter. This is the simple miracle of the Dharma, not grand or distant, but present in every moment. And right now, you too stand at a crossroad, a chance to choose how to live. You can allow your mind to keep chasing after endless cycles. Or you can choose to turn inward, to begin planting seeds of peace. That choice cannot be made for you, it rests in your own hands, here and now. Our channel, Buddha's Wisdom Journey, was created as a companion, a small lamp lighting your way. Each video, each sharing, is not meant to be heard and forgotten, but to awaken something within you, a pause, a silence, a question. A new way of seeing. If these words touch your heart, if you believe that everyone in this world deserves peace, then I invite you to subscribe and walk with us on this journey. Each video is a gentle reminder that you are not alone, that you can return to yourself, and that peace is always within reach. I also invite you to leave a heartfelt comment below, not just polite words, but an honest sharing from your heart. What are you seeking in your spiritual journey? Have you ever experienced a true moment of peace? And which teaching of the Buddha has touched you the most deeply? Your sharing not only helps you see yourself more clearly, but also becomes a light for others walking this path. Let us turn the comment space into a collective practice, a place where each person shares their experience, and together we learn and support one another. A single word of yours might encourage someone lost in confusion. A small story from you might bring light to someone sitting in darkness. This is the power of community, of spiritual connection. My dear friend, life is fragile and fleeting. We cannot know what tomorrow will bring, but we can choose how to live today. And if today we choose mindfulness, compassion, and letting go, then no matter what comes tomorrow, we will have lived fully. So let us walk together on this path. Let Buddha's wisdom journey be a place you return to when your heart is unsettled, a place where you find inspiration to live peacefully, a place that reminds you that happiness is simple, and peace is always here. And I truly believe, if you practice sincerely, one day you will no longer search for peace. Because you will realize, peace has always been your true nature.